All right, guys, welcome back to episode 22 of Royally Quack, your SoCal hockey podcast for Ducks and Kings hockey. I'm Cody, and I'm joined by my fellow co-host,
Gary.
All right, guys.
Otherwise known as Dad.
Or Dad, yes.
Welcome back, everybody. We're excited about this week.
That we are.
We get to play commissioner, and we've had some response from you people, and we're real excited to share all the stuff you've responded to us, plus our own points we have to make. So I would say buckle up, get ready. Here we go.
There we go. All right. So we're going to do Kings news, Ducks news, league news, and then what we would do if we were the NHL commissioner. And we'll also share what other people said on Instagram.
All right. I guess we're starting off with Kings news.
Yep.
Really good news, guys. Yeah. The more I look at how the Kings drafted, the more excited. I didn't even put this in the notes today, but I saw something that said that with the last draft that the Kings have done, that we had been depleted in our prospect pool. I mean, we've got a lot of guys coming up we're expecting to play, but we're like getting Carter George, Liam Greentree, and some of the guys from a year or two ago that it's possible we could be maybe like 10th in the NHL in prospect pools. And for me, that's way better than I even dreamed of. So, but, more of that will come in the future because not everybody's done all their analyzing and future predicting. And we'll try to give more news on that. But let's get straight to King news. Carter George signs a 3-year ELC contract with the Kings. And a lot of people are high on him. Canada, he's going to play for Canada World Juniors. I don't know if he's going to be the number one or not, but just to be on that team, it's awesome. Then I want to share a Tanner Jeannot, one we acquired from Tampa Bay. A quote, "I want to be the hardest guy on the ice to play against." I think that's why they traded for him. They want to be harder to play against. I mean, we did have a very good defense last year, but we're really hard to play against. And we lost probably our number one hard to play against guy, Matt Roy, to free agency. So maybe Tanner Jeannot's a little part of picking that back up for us. And Joel Edmondson says he's ready to do the dirty work for the Kings. So positive things coming from our two of our newest acquisitions. Another bit of news, this on the minor league level, Tate Singleton signs on with the Ontario Reign. So a lot of these signings that the Kings have been doing, some of them are a bit older guys, but guys who can show the young guys how to play. Sort of like what, why can't I think of his name now? He went to Colorado. TJ Tynan. Tynan was there like 3 years, 4 years, and 2 years he was MVP of the AHL. Guys like that, they're good players, really good players. Top probably 2% in the world, but they're not good enough to make the NHL. We'll see. Maybe he'll make Colorado this year. Hopefully we won't have to play against him. And I kind of gave one thing away. We have 4 Kings prospects playing in the World Juniors. Hampton, Lucinski, draft pick from last year, the goalie from Minnesota. It was the state of Minnesota's high school goalie of the year. He was 39-1, and the only game he lost was in the championship of the state.
Wow.
And he's been impressive. And they've had him on all the Kings men. And, if you go back, Kings fans, go back. Jesse Cohen does such a great job giving you information. And unfortunately, getting the people that I mean, obviously he works for the Kings, so he gets anybody and everybody he wants. So it's really a good listen. So, but not only him, but James Reeder, the guy they just drafted, is going to be playing for Team USA, and Matthew Mania, a defenseman from I think last year or the year before, that the Kings have high hopes for, are all playing for USA. And then again, as I said before, Carter George playing for Canada. Now, here's an interest. I was on prohockeyrumors.com, and it says Rob Blake is on the hot seat. You think?
Oh, no.
Well, here's the thing. Our hope is that our senior veterans play about the same. Byfield becomes the star, at least more of a star this year. And will the kids save Blake's job? Because I think it's Turcotte. It's going to be Kill Thomas, maybe even Samuel Fagemo, Brant Clark, even the other defenseman. He played last year.
Spence?
Yeah, Jordan Spence. God, why can't I think Jordan Spence's name? Dropped right out of my head. I mean, if you can imagine Jordan Spence getting a little bit better and a little more offensive, and then Clark doing what he does, it could make a dramatic difference on the power play. Because, I was talking to a coworker, Steve. I'm going to make you listen to this, Steve, because you're a big Kings fan, but I know you haven't listened to it. But he said something. Why did we get rid of Dursey? I mean, Dursey would do some dirty work, and he was so good on the power play. And I told him, why? I go, because they believe in Clark. And I go, but I do miss Sean Dursey, and look what he did. He's in now Utah, and he signed a 4-year, $6 million AAV contract with them, more than Matt Roy got from the Washington Capitals. So, we do miss him. He was a great King. I know why they did it, but that's Kings news, guys. Am I boring you? Oh, by the way,
Oh,
I have to look at Beckett Seneca and What the Duck shirt on Cody right now, and I go, that poor kid's gonna have to live with that picture for the rest of his life. It's like, what? He's like, didn't even know what he was gonna say. And what did he say? What the duck? And
he said,
oh my God,
what the duck?
Yeah, what the duck is how we say it on this
family-friendly podcast.
Absolutely. So, Cody, you and Duck News is coming up.
Yep.
Get all you Quackville, get ready. Here comes Cody.
Woo. All right. So here's some. I think we have 3 or 4 players playing in this shoulder check showcase. It's 4. Trevor Zegras, Frank Vetrano, Mason McTavish, and Ryan Strome are all playing in this little shoulder check showcase. And they were getting interviewed and stuff like that. So I got some quotes from some of the interviews. You can find this on NHL.com and everything like that, or I believe The Athletic. I can't remember. I think it's one of the two. But I know for sure NHL.com.
Get your facts straight, kid.
I know. I'm sorry. All right.
Dad's putting his big foot down.
So Frank Vetrano, here's this quote on being with the Anaheim Ducks. He said, quote, "I don't want to play anywhere else. It's where I want to be. I see the bigger picture. I see how good we're going to be next year and years to come." Let's see. It moved on me. In years to come. So I want to be part of the solution. Now it's time to win more games and hopefully play meaningful games later on in the stretch. So that's what he said. And then he also said, "I'm going to do whatever it takes to help this team succeed. We have great younger guys who are going to make big steps this year, and we're going to rely on them." we are all playing for the same goal. So,
wow. So people, have you heard? We're getting positive news from our members of our teams.
yeah.
I mean, what better thing can you have? Okay, I'm gonna don't mean to cut you off for just a second, but I had a point. 3 years ago in Tokyo, the greatest gymnast ever got the twisties. I mean, we saw this incredible athlete struggle. And where does that all struggle start? It starts up in your head, and she was smart enough to step away and get her head straight, and we got to have players on each of our hockey teams. They need to have their heads on straight. They need to be positive.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you what, I'm impressed with that,
Yeah.
because you were ready to trade him, Cody.
Well,
And
his
I'm saying
value
right now,
his
if
value
I'm a
was
Duck fan,
high.
I know, but if I'm a Duck fan, that's the kind of player I want on my team.
Yeah.
I mean, just like what Tanner Jeannot said, Joel Edmondson said, and now Frank Vetrano from the Ducks said, that's what you want. That's
Mm-hmm.
incredible. So, I mean, there's positives that we're going to be taking into the season, whether it translate. I mean, guys, only one team out of 32 can win the Stanley Cup.
Yep.
It's a very hard thing to do. But if we can all at least get closer to that goal, and I think the Ducks have made a huge step up. I'm hoping that with the young guys, the Kings, it's a huge step up. I mean, I know that's a lot of hope for us. I think the Ducks made the step up. So,
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just being an honest hockey fan. I see they made a step up. The Kings look like they made a step back.
Mm-hmm.
But maybe there's some things we just don't know.
Yeah.
So we'll see. Go ahead, Cody. Sorry.
All right. And then here's what Ryan Strome was talking about the younger guys also. Obviously it's on the young guys to take a step, but it's also the older guys to help them get there and continue on our trajectories. We'll see how the next couple of years go. We'll take things slowly and see what happens. And here's also what Ryan Strome said about naming a Ducks captain. I think it's going to be a first-time captain for whoever it's going to be, but I'm sure they'll handle it. We've had a lot of ups and downs the last couple of years, so I think we need somebody to right the ship, steer the ship, and be the leader. And then here's the last quote from Trevor Zegras about being with the Ducks. We have a really tight-knit group, and I really do love being a part of it, so it's a good fit.
Oof. Is that telling everybody about the rumors? Shut up, I want to be here.
Exactly. So, obviously, all these guys get along. I mean, just look at all the videos of when they do their pregame. I mean, you got Zegras chilling in the corner, and then Cam Fowler comes up and starts puts his hands on his chest like he's trying to run in place with him, and then Mason McTavish comes in right after, just just bam, body slams him right into the boards. They do it every pregame. So you could tell when Zegras was gone, you could tell something was missing and everything like that. It was like that kind of glue in a way. So like I said, they are close. So I mean, like I said, that's what I was trying to tell you guys last week, that this is why I don't think Zegras is going anywhere. So, but like I said, I did my rant last week. So here's the next thing. So Patrick, I'm gonna spoil one of the league news for later. So Patrick Laine got released from the Players Assistance Program. So now that he's out and everything, he's probably more capable of a trade, because I think he has a full no move clause or no trade clause. I can't remember. But do the Ducks go after trade or trade for Patrick Laine? I mean, he says he wants a change of scenery, according to Aaron Portzline from the Columbus Athletic. So, and I got some, let's see. So, Patrick Laine has 2 years remaining on a contract that pays him $8.7 million per season. The Ducks can handle that cap for now. But I mean, it's for 2 years. So I think we can handle that cap for 2 years. Here it is. There's a limited no trade clause in Laine's contract, by which he can select 10 NHL clubs to which he cannot be traded. So he has a 10-team no trade list. It's unclear if Laine would be willing to be flexible on that list, given his desire to leave Columbus if it come to that. So, like I said, do the Ducks go after Laine? What do you think? Do you think the Ducks should go after Laine?
Well, I get it depends on what the price would be.
So,
for me,
this is what came out. They want prospects and draft picks.
Well, the Ducks definitely have that. I just want.
Both.
I'll be honest with you. He's been kind of a disappointment for the talent he has. Now, maybe it's because he had to go into assistance and get his head straight. You know, just like I talked.
He's also in Columbus.
Isn't that funny? I talked about that. I didn't even know you were going to talk about him. You know, with like Simone Biles. There's others that have had the same problems. But if your head's not straight, you're not going to be as good as you should be. If he could get straight, he'd be a great acquisition. But I don't know if I'd spend a lot of money or a lot of players on it.
It depends on what we give up for him.
Exactly. And so that's where I would say that play in it, that another veteran presence on that team could make them that possible playoff team, maybe wild card team.
Yeah.
I mean, you never know.
I would say bubble wild card. Bubble.
Okay. Well, see, here's the thing. See, I'm a visionary. Okay, so you got a lot of young guys.
Yeah.
And Troy Terry, after signing the big contract, I didn't think he had as great a season. But is that ability still there? Absolutely. And what about McTavish? McTavish, he looks like a bull. Plays like a bull.
Wonder if he some of his workout videos.
I mean, wonder if he comes into his own and he's more consistent. He matures. Trevor Zegras is back, like he was at least a 60-point scorer again. I mean, right there, I could make them that much better. And you got Vetrano still scoring, Strome there. They got a lot of possibilities. I mean, I try to look at the possibilities, just like I've talked about. You know, you got Turcotte and Kill Thomas, Fagemo, Clark, Spence, all these young guys. Wonder if all of them, you know, they're better than who they replaced. I mean, honestly, we got 6 goals and 9 assists from Arvidsson. If we get 6 goals and 9 assists from one of those guys, it's already better than what we had from last year. So, you know what? I hate saying it, but I think the Ducks really have a future ahead of them. Is it going to happen sooner than later? I don't know. But, I mean, they have scary talent. They really do. So, I don't know. I wouldn't trade all that away for Patrick Laine.
No, I guess it depends on the package.
Yeah, and if he wants to come here. See, the big problem with players wanting to come here is the state taxes kill them. A lot of them don't want to come to California. California gets blocked just because our state taxes are higher than anybody else's in the country. You know, they can play somewhere where there's either no tax or low tax. You know, and when you're making millions, it makes a difference in how much you get paid.
Yeah, so, usually when players have like a 10 to 16 no trade list, it's going to be most of the Canadian teams and probably the California teams.
Yeah, just because of that. So
yeah. All right, last bit of Ducks news. So there was some chatter earlier this month of a potential trade with Anaheim and the Blues, where it would have sent Torrey Krug to the Ducks. But and I don't know what the return was. But due to Krug not waiving his no trade clause and a potential nagging injury, he declined it. So he's staying with the Blues. And apparently now Krug is going to be probably out for this next season. So he's going to be in the LTIR probably.
It's something to do with his ankle, right? I think so.
It's either his ankle or knee.
And
but that this is per Dave Pagnotta.
And I gotta tell you, you guys should be. I don't think he's worth $6.5 million a year.
Oh no.
I mean, he's a $4 million a year player at best.
Yeah, which, like I said,
I know
maybe it was a move to help us get above the cap floor, if anything. So, but
that's true.
All right, well, that is it for Ducks news. Let's go through the league news.
Okay.
All right, so congratulations to Jessica Campbell on being the first female assistant coach in the NHL with the Seattle Kraken.
That's awesome.
That is great.
I think anytime, and I always believe this, I don't care male, female, what the color of your skin is, it should be the best person gets the job.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and it's awesome that teams are starting to see that women have something to say. I mean, okay, let's be honest. All you married men, who runs the house?
The dog.
Yeah, sorta. But the women run they're running the house. That's their kingdom. You know, we get the garage, and I don't even get that. So, but anyways, it's nice to see that women in sports. I mean, I know the Kings have I can never remember how to Manon Renaud. She played actually in an NHL game, first woman to play goal in an NHL game.
Oh.
She's on our team. She's not an assistant coach, but she's in the program.
She's on the staff.
She's on the staff. So, you know,
is that with Ontario or with LA?
No, I do believe it's with LA, but she does a lot of outreach to. The Kings have an incredible going out to the young people to get them to be better players, and part of her process is young women. We need more young women to play hockey. You know, so I think I'm all for it. You know, I don't care who you are. If you can play, you can play. So, and if you can coach, you can coach. Congratulations, Jessica.
Yep.
May you not be the only female assistant coach.
Yeah, I hope there's more to come.
Me
and
too.
I agree. So,
on our second bit of news, Edmonton does it again. They signed Stan Bowman.
Oh, God.
As the general manager and VP of hockey operations. And if you don't know the name, think of Chicago Blackhawks. And what every other year they won the Stanley Cup in a 5-year period. So they won 3 Stanley Cups in a 5-year period. But he got suspended along with others with the
Kyle Beach scandal.
I couldn't remember his name. Thank you. The Kyle Beach scandal. Oh, and Joe Quenneville, the coach. Yeah. They both have just been okayed to hire. And what do they do? The Oilers go out and get him.
And a lot of people are not happy about this.
And he's a good hockey guy. Very good hockey guy. I mean, could we have fired Rob Blake and got Bowman in?
No. You don't want Bowman.
Why? You don't want us to be better?
No. I don't. What he did was completely wrong. It's not.
Well, hiding it, you mean?
Yeah. Like I said,
that was. I agree with.
There's already people doing petitions to get him, like, fired or not reinstated. There's already a lot of signatures already on this petition.
Okay, I'm sorry, but people make mistakes. They do.
That's a big mistake, though.
It was a big mistake. But do you think if you ever made a big mistake, you would want some forgiveness if you were really sorry you did
Not
it?
this kind of mistake, though.
Still. Anyways.
We'll move on.
Thank God we have a God who's forgiving.
Yes.
So
I'm just saying.
I'll just state that and we'll move on.
Yes. All right. This is the one I want to talk about. This is the one I'm happiest the most with.
Yes, I know. That's
Since
why I left it for you.
Yeah. I'm a big hat person. I love my hats. New Era Cap announces a new partnership with the NHL. It's a multi-year agreement that begins this season, and they're going to start producing hats and apparel for all 32 NHL clubs. And I am super excited because I love New Era. I love their hats. I'm finally now we'll probably get better quality hats. I had nothing wrong with the ones I had before, but I just love New Era hats more. Better quality and everything like that. And because like if you go to like any hat store like Lids or something like that, there's like a little tiny, like literally it's like 2 shelves of hockey and stuff like that, and then you got like walls of football and basketball and baseball. I mean, I could understand baseball because they wear hats, but it would be nice to be able to go to Lids or another hat store and actually see a wall of NHL hats.
So for all you fans that didn't know, Cody worked at Lids.
I loved
Lake Elsinore. Maybe you bought a hat from him.
Yeah.
And what's funny is when I was young, I was big into hats. I always wearing a hat. Now I can't stand wearing them.
I love them.
I know you still do. I can't wear them. My head gets too hot. I have all this heat coming out of my head because that's where you lose most of your heat. If you didn't know that. But anyways, the Columbus Blue Jackets hired Dean Evason as their new head coach. Now, I think we had in one of our podcasts where we said that Todd McClellan was going to sign there, but that didn't happen.
Yeah, I said it was going to, but it wasn't set in stone.
Yeah, and it didn't happen. So Dean Evason as a new coach. Good luck to you and the Blue Jackets because you need help.
Well, I mean, depends on who's all playing there and everything. So, but I mean, I think they have a good young group. They just got to put everything together finally.
Well, maybe he's the key. Who knows?
All right. I want you to say this one.
Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen?
Yep.
Okay. I'm going to continue. Resigns with the Sabres for 5 years at $4.75 million AAV.
I think that's a good deal for him, for both sides.
Yeah, he's a good goalie.
I'm pretty sure. I think since this is what the league seems like it's going to be like a 1A 1B kind of system. I think in the NHL from now on. I don't think you're going to see goalies playing 60, 70 games that much anymore.
No, it's becoming a 2-goalie league.
Yeah.
The Kings, I think it's going to be really probably 50, maybe somewhere between 45 and 50 games for
Kemper.
Yeah, and then the rest will go to Riddick. And all that depends on who stays healthy, of course. But you're not going to see too many guys going 70 games. They played 70 games. And some of those are back-to-back, night after night, and they're busy.
There was I think a record for most consecutive games played by goalie. I think it was like 200 and something games, straight games that this goalie played.
In the NHL?
Yeah, a long time ago. Long time ago.
Well, hey, I went to an Angel game and Nolan Ryan was pitching, and he pitched like 13 innings, had 19 strikeouts.
Well, I mean, he was a different. Nolan Ryan was a different
pitches breed. Thrown. I mean, now it's like, oh, they're at 95. We better take him out. I mean, and yet he played till he was 48.
something like that.
Oh.
So we were watching Angels in the Outfield last night, and it's a great, great,
we're doing that angel in the
yeah.
outfield wings thing.
And it was Tony Danza's character Mel Clark, when in the last part of the movie and everything like that. They were saying like, oh, it was like in the ninth inning or whatever, and they're like, oh, he's at 156 pitches. I'm like, yeah, you don't see that anymore.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, next bit of news. Wow, we really got off topic on that one.
That's okay.
Anyways,
I'm having fun. Are you?
former Duck draft pick Henry Thrun re-signs with the Sharks for 2 years at $1 mil AAV. Honestly, that was still a great trade by Verbeek. We got a fourth. This kid got drafted in the fourth round, and we traded him away, and we got back a third round pick. So
yeah, Kent Johnson signed a 3-year, $5.4 million contract with the Columbus Blue Jackets. Boy, a lot of Blue Jacket news on our podcast today, and that's a 1.8 AAV. Now, he went to Michigan, and he was a highlight film the season before he got drafted. You're talking about he was shooting pucks between. I don't know how they do that with their hockey sticks. I just, you watch those things. I mean, that's what I think they should try to do. In the All-Star game is have fancy, like who can do the fanciest shot, and it's a rating of, up to 10. And you get like 3 chances.
Pretty much exactly like how the NBA did the slam dunk contest.
Pretty much. Isn't that a great idea? I just thought of it.
Well, they do the shootout challenge thing, like Zegras did something similar, and I still think he should have won that one. But let's not get into that.
But anyways, what I'm saying is that's the fun part when you can watch people do something that, for me, there is no way, even in my heyday physically, that I would ever be able to do that. That's like watching Simone Biles do that backflip on the beam thing. I mean, all I can think of how many times I'd have gotten injured on the beam, because there's no way in hell I can do a backflip on that. I can't even do a backflip off the beam. So, anyways, we'll move on now. Sorry.
Yeah. All right, I'll let you do this next one. I'm going to do the one after.
Okay. The Philadelphia Flyers have extended forward Travis Konecny to an 8-year contract with an average annual value of $8.75 million, beginning with the 25-26 season, according to General Manager Daniel Briere. He was in our hockey puck thing. I used his name. He played for 2 of those teams last week.
Oh, the Puckduku. Yeah, Daniel Briere.
That's it. Yeah.
Yeah.
And now he's the general manager.
He's been the general manager there.
I know, but I'm just saying I used him as a player. Bless you. Bless you. Bless you.
I'm so sorry.
As your great-grandmother would have said, you have too much dust on your brain.
That's probably true. All right. Here's some sad news. Jeff Marek is leaving Sportsnet. And this is what he put on Twitter. After 3 great years at Sportsnet, 13? I'm moving on.
13?
13 years? Did I say 13?
You said 3.
Oh, sorry. The sneeze just really messed with me, apparently. Sneezes.
Too much dust on your brains, boy.
Yeah. After 13 great years at Sportsnet, I'm moving on. It's been an incredible journey, and I'm thankful to have worked alongside so many great people and played a role in bringing sports and hockey news to fans across Canada and the world. More to come soon, Jeff Marek. So that means no more. This is what I think. I don't know if this is true or not. There's no more of the Jeff Marek show, and Jeff Marek will probably no longer be on 32 Thoughts.
Oh,
I know. I am devastated by this. I loved Jeff and Elliot together. That was just such great hockey entertainment right there.
They're two totally different people, but when you mix them together, it's like,
It's perfect.
it's like, do you like flour? You want to
Yeah.
eat a raw egg, but you mix it all up and put it in a cake and you love it. And
Yeah.
same thing with Jeff and Elliot on 32 Thoughts. Highly recommend listening to that. I hope that's not true, that he's not going to be on that anymore. Is that
It's part of Sportsnet, so
oh, is it? That's why they try the ribs. That's why they get the big sponsorship.
yeah. So like I said, I really hope wherever Jeff finds a new job, and if he can keep doing this podcast or his show, I think wherever he goes, they're going to find a great guy, great personality. I'm going to miss his random historic like facts that he always randomly comes up with. I even though I have no idea what he's talking about, but it is entertaining.
I mean, when he ticks off Elliot?
Oh, that too.
That's a Jeff Marek question.
Yeah. So like I said, and the whole Elliot saying that's not your worst idea. I know. I always just love that too. Like, because Jeff always would come up with some pretty ridiculous ideas. But like I said, I enjoyed the Jeff Marek show. I listened to it every day that I could.
Yeah.
I always listen to 32 Thoughts. Like I said, I'm devastated by this news. I really am.
Well, maybe he'll have something similar on his own.
I hope so, because I'm gonna miss that. It was part of my routine at work. I would throw on the Jeff Marek show and then listen to the rest of my stuff.
Yeah,
so
well, sad day in hockey. If we lose all that, it's a sad day in hockey.
There's I don't know if it's true or not. I was trying to find it last night. I couldn't find anything, but they're saying that Elliot Freeman will stay on the 32 Thoughts podcast. I don't know if he's going to do it on his own or they're going to try to find another co-host. I don't know. So hopefully we find out more on that, because like I said, maybe that's why because normally we would still get podcasts around this time, like even after free agency, but we haven't gotten anything this year so far.
Well, this year, I mean, after
yeah, because they literally almost right after the Stanley Cup was over, they did like 2 or 3 more episodes of the Jeff Marek show, and I think we had one more 32 Thoughts, and after that we haven't had anything since the final. Or maybe since the draft. I think since the draft. Sorry.
Yeah.
I think after free agency, there hasn't been anything. Not one episode.
How sad. Well, we got to move on from that.
Yeah.
I don't want to be on a bummer.
Yeah.
You've already shared this part.
Yeah.
So
it was just Patrick Laine being released from the.
Yeah. The Phoenix Suns owner, Matt Kashiba, has expressed interest in bringing an NHL franchise back to Phoenix as an expansion team. I say yes.
Yeah.
I mean, we got somebody who can own it that cares.
Yeah.
And he's done a good job with the Suns.
And he already has an arena.
All he has to do is buy. Well, no, the other guy has no rights left, right?
It's done.
He lost everything.
He lost everything.
$1 billion anyways. So
yeah.
See you later,
Alex Morello.
Yeah.
All right. I'm actually kind of excited for this. So now we're gonna do.
Great idea, Cody had. I gotta give.
If we were commissioner, NHL commissioner, what rules would we change?
So do you want to start?
Do you want to? All right. Do you want me to say what other people said and then ours? Because some of them kind of go with what we said.
Okay. Why don't we go with our fans first? Let them take stage.
So I asked my buddy at work, Richard. I asked him. I was like, he's not a big NHL person. I was like, hey, I wanted an outside opinion, someone that's not as much into hockey. And this is what he said: let them fight more, and stuff like that. He's like, he feels like when he does see fights, the refs are stopping it almost right away. He's like, he's like that. He said that, like, as an outside fan, that's something he looks forward to seeing, because that's what, can happen in hockey. They're allowed, quote, to fight.
Okay. Your wife would be just, yes, do it. Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
Well, there's other words, but yes.
Yes.
And then another thing he said was, like, the reason why he also doesn't really know much, he's like, it's not advertised as good. Like baseball, football, basketball, they all, like, have, all these advertisings, and their marketing is a lot better. But NHL can probably work on that. And I think, and here's another, and I was going to bring this up later, but this kind of goes into it. Get rid of on the ESPN Plus games or whatever, get rid of the blackout. Because if you think about it, if I'm telling my friend who has ESPN Plus, I'm like, oh, dude, like, you should watch the games, or blah, 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 and stuff like that. And he goes and he has ESPN Plus, and now he can't watch it because it's blacked out. So now you're taking away other, like, new people from watching it because it's blacked out.
Okay. I think that's a great point.
Yeah. So
make
like
it
I said,
more accessible to
make
see.
it exactly. Get rid of this whole blackout. I hate the blackout games. I really do. Because I want to see my team play. Because even if they're playing away games, I still can't watch it. And I'm like, it's meant to, I know why they do it. It's meant for people to go see the game live, but I'm like, I'm here in Southern California and they're playing in New York. How am I going to go see them live?
Well, another point would be, put out your superstar players more on TV and radio, so they can hear and get to know them.
We literally have a guy that's about to break a Wayne Gretzky record, and why they should be advertised. Think about what the NBA was doing with LeBron when he was about to break the whole all-time points record. Why don't we do that? Like, advertise Ovechkin. Everyone loves Ovechkin.
Yeah, he goes out and plays the game.
Yeah.
And you know what? And nobody's ever said a bad word about him that I can remember.
Yeah. I was stoked to see him win the Stanley Cup.
I mean, so here, you know how the NBA and the NFL, I mean, even baseball a little bit, it's all, a lot of it's bad news.
Yeah.
It's bad news, oh, yeah, somebody, video of them beating up their wife or girlfriend in an elevator, or, all sorts of things like that. Well, how much of it I'm sure it probably happens in the NHL, but you just don't hear about anything like that. Well, let's not, I don't want to really support negative news anyways.
Yeah.
I'd like to see, let's have some positive, have some funny commercials. I mean, we have some really great characters in hockey. I mean, one on top of anyone, number one, put Teemu Selanne as a spokesperson for the NHL.
Yes.
The guy is funny, lovable. I mean, I'm a Kings fan, and he is right up there with Luke, Wayne, and all my favorite Kings just because of who he is.
Mm-hmm.
He's an awesome guy. So, I mean, I'd say more advertising, put a little bit more money into it. And it's the most exciting sport. I mean, if you're a real true hockey fan, you're going to watch a hockey game, or you're going to watch football where you have a minute between every play that you're waiting for something to happen.
Yeah.
I mean, nothing again. I love to watch football. Don't get me wrong. I'm a big football fan. I mean, I even like baseball. I'd rather go to the game than watch it on TV and baseball. And you already know, you've heard about why I don't like to watch basketball anymore.
We'll move on.
We'll move on from that.
But basketball does a great job of marketing. They do.
Football does.
Yeah.
Even baseball.
Yeah.
So
baseball can be a little bit better about that too, but that's a different podcast.
Let's go on to our second fan's question, or second question from a fan.
All right. I asked my wife.
More fighting.
Well, I already said someone already said that, and so that was one of the first. That one actually wasn't her first thing. She said cheaper seats, so more people can enjoy going to games. More team events, and then here's the one that I think I probably like the most. Refs to be more consistent with the calls. I feel like the refs should be held a little bit more accountable for some of the calls they make. And then the other one is not place so much favorites with teams.
Okay. That's going to be harder to get done.
Yeah.
I mean,
But I mean, if you think about like the baseball has like a grading system. They get graded after every
I
game.
think the hockey doesn't have that.
It doesn't seem like it.
Okay, so what you have to realize.
No, I know they do, but it just doesn't seem like it.
So we both have experience being officials.
Yes.
Me in a multi-sport more than you.
Yes.
And one thing about hockey, man, it's fast moving. And sometimes you can't see everything. As much, I mean, they got 4 guys out there, 2 referees and 2 linesmen. The linesman can always help, but still you can't see everything because it's moving so fast. You've been up close.
Yeah. I'm also talking about but we're also talking about like replay stuff. Like
or replays. I'm okay with that.
I'm okay with some more replays and stuff like that, but and this is what I was telling her, and like, why don't they do like what soccer does? The VAR system, the virtual assistant referee system, where literally after every goal, you already got a team of people looking at if there was a penalty, if there was offsides, if there was a handball. You know, like literally anytime it's like they're in that third of the thing, they're already watching. So that way, by the time they ask for it, it's already like they're already looking at it before there's even a challenge. Instead of
waiting
challenge and then they watch it, which takes more time. It's already getting watched.
People aren't going to challenge because basically a challenge now, if you're wrong, costs you a penalty, and then you're shorthanded.
Yeah, but I'm just saying.
I see what you're saying.
But no, there still could be the challenge system, but now the challenge system is not as long. If they're already doing the instead of say like Ducks versus Kings, I think Kopitar hitting the goal with the highest stick. And instead of me going like, hey, I want to challenge that goal for a high stick.
It's automatically done on every goal.
It's already started.
Okay.
Instead of the challenge, then they look at it. It's already being looked at already.
Okay.
It could be a quicker process.
Okay. I like that idea.
So
I'd be okay with that. Make it all right.
And can we define what the hell goalie interference is too?
A better definition,
or just consistently called. I don't even know what it is anymore. All right, here's our first Instagram reply, and all of them are from Adam. Shout out Adam.
Hey, Adam.
Right. First one: take away overtime points. You only get points if you win. So this kind of goes into one of our ideas. So
yeah, that's an idea.
I like Adam's idea, and I already told him, I was like, hey, like we already have an idea for that, so here it is. We'll do like the soccer system. If you win in regulation, you get 3 points. If you win in overtime or shootout, you get 2 points. If you lose in overtime or shootout, you get 1 point. If you lose in regulation, you get 0 points.
And one of my reasons, because Cody and I, we were actually both working, we were talking about it. We really didn't want to tell each other what our ideas were. But first one was this one, and it was on my list too. And I told him, it makes winning in regulation more important. So you won't have teams just like, oh, I'll just play with the puck behind the net and let's go into overtime. You always have it play it safe, play it safe. Well, what do people want? They don't want play it safe. They want action. So let's get more action into the game. And I think it would provide more action. I mean, I'm not saying that what Adam said about just you win, you lose, you lose. That would be okay.
I wouldn't mind it.
I mean, the problem with the current system is that you have some games that are worth 3 points, some games that are worth 2 points. Wonder if you're involved in 82 overtime games.
You already got 82 points minimum.
Well, yeah, I'm just saying.
And probably not a very endurance team after that.
But what I'm trying to say is a lot of what I think is to make the game more exciting for the fans. This is just one of them because you're not going to want to go to overtime. You're going to want to try to win the game.
Yep.
So.
All right. Or would you do 3 points if you win in regulation, 2 if you win in overtime or shootout, and 0 if you lose no matter what? Or do you like the 3-2-1-0 system?
I like the 3-2-1. Because if you take it to overtime, that means you were at least competitive in the game. And I can see that point. I can see why Adam doesn't like it. But man, the Kings lost a lot of games in overtime or shootout this year.
Yeah.
And without that point, they wouldn't even been a playoff team.
Yeah.
So,
right.
I mean.
All right.
Anyways, that's from just Adam. My thoughts on that.
All right. Next one from Adam. No shootouts. OT starts 4-on-4. Then the next period goes 3-on-3. And then after that, 2-on-2. Still only 5 minutes each overtime period.
I think they're trying to keep the game shorter. That's one reason they haven't done that already, Adam. For me, I wouldn't be against that. I think it would be exciting. Yep, but did you know? I think that now I have not looked this up in the NHL rules, but I saw someone had posted that after like 5 periods, there's 2 pucks that can be put into play.
I saw that somewhere too.
Oh, so you saw that too?
Yes.
I wanted to look it up, and I was more focused on what we were going to talk about. I've never seen that happen.
Yeah,
it hasn't happened. It happened, but it was like 40, 50 years ago.
Yeah.
So, but let's move on from that. So, all right. That's great. What else does Adam have to say?
So this one made me laugh, and you'll hear why.
Okay.
Salary cap extends into playoffs. No more of this LTIR into the playoffs crap. Cough, Vegas, cough. Thank you. I was laughing so hard when Adam said it.
I thought about that one, but I can tell you I know why the NHL probably won't do it.
Yeah.
They want the best
best versus best.
Playing, yeah.
Yeah.
And I agree with you, Adam. But I can't see the NHL doing that just because of they want the best player. I mean, could you imagine if Vegas didn't have Stone when they won the Stanley Cup? I don't think they win the Stanley Cup without Stone in there. Which,
all right,
2 years in a row.
And then last one from Adam. He didn't send this to me in a message. Well, he did, but it was a video. And so instead of a shootout, what they do is they put 3 pucks on the blue line on each side. And then, so this is what they do. So say it's Ducks versus Kings. There's 3 pucks on your end, 3 pucks on my end, all like spaced out. It's first team to score 3 goals wins. So you got the Ducks going on one end against the Kings goalie, and then the Kings players going against the Ducks goalie on the other end. You go until you score.
How many players? Just one? So
say like, I'm just saying it. So say they send Zegras out to go against Kemper. He has to he grabs one of the pucks and does a shootout move. If he makes it, he has to skate back, and then the next guy can go. But if he doesn't make it, Zegras has to get the puck, go behind the blue line, and go until he scores. And he has to keep doing that until he scores, and the next guy can't go until that player gets back to the bench.
So basically, the winner who scores 3 goals in the least amount of time wins.
The quickest, yes. The quickest.
I think that's...
I'll send you the video, and you'll see what you think.
Yeah, I know. I just can't see them doing that because...
Yeah, I know.
It would be exciting, though.
I think it would be exciting.
I think it would be very much exciting. I like my ideas for overtime better.
Yeah. All right.
So should I share?
Yeah, you go.
Okay. So instead of regular overtime, we're going to have 5 minutes. But we have 30 seconds to shoot.
A shot clock.
A shot clock. So we can't sit there and keep skating in and out, hold on for 4.5 minutes and try to score at the last second. Like, that's what's happening now, which to me is boring. So you have a shot clock, 30 seconds. No more possession hogging, boring overtimes.
Mm-hmm.
Now that's just one of my ideas.
All right, let me piggyback on your idea.
Because I have other ideas on overtime too. So instead
of the shot clock, here's what they do. If your team purposely leaves the blue line, like the blue line, on their own,
takes the puck out of the offensive
takes the puck
zone
out to reset, like what you were talking about, they lose the puck.
See, I like the shot clock better because they're going to have to shoot. It's going to make it more exciting.
Yeah.
But your idea is
it gets rid of them going out.
Yeah, but it's still possibly they could kill 2 minutes in the offensive zone and take it back out and give it up.
I'd rather them kill 2 minutes. I'd still rather have them kill 2 minutes in their offensive zone.
Well, I disagree. 30-second shot clock. Make it
right.
Just
whatever.
Like NBA.
I like my idea better anyways.
So my second one, overtime power plays. No more 4-on-3. If you get a penalty, it's 3-on-2. Giving more ice for the offense to make plays. And you still have the 30-second shot clock.
Okay.
So not adding another player on and letting the other team stay at the same. They lose a player. Now you got 3-on-2. Now 3-on-2 is a lot harder to guard than 4-on-3 is because you can play a triangle, which you see a lot of teams do. They'll play triangles. So that's my second one. Did you have anything else you want to throw on that?
I got one.
What's your one?
All right. Get rid of the trapezoid. Let the goalies play the puck.
I'm okay with
let them. If they want to play with the puck and then they get scored on, that's on them.
Yeah.
I say get rid of the trapezoid.
It's funny.
Let them play.
When I looked it up on the internet, that was a lot of people wanted to get rid of the trapezoid.
Yeah.
So that would be a big one. And I knew you were going to talk about it because we did chat about it a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
So I left that off my list for you.
Yeah. All right. Let me do another one because you did too.
Okay.
Get rid of the draft lottery.
Okay, that was on my list too.
So, like I said, coaches and players don't, and I believe this is what, like I said, going back to Jeff Marek, and I know he repeated this many times. Players and coaches don't tank. GMs tank.
So, I kind of agree with that, but with a stipulation that if the team is guilty of tanking, they could be penalized and lose their pick. Now, let me caveat others to that. Say like you just dumping everybody because you're already losing and you want the pick, and they start dumping every player. I think the NHL commissioner would come in and said, hey, say it's the Ducks or the Kings, and they go, you know what? You're getting close to losing that pick. Stop doing it.
Yeah.
I'm not going to approve that trade, especially if it's just dumping to lose. Now, so that way a team isn't just going to, we're going to let you do it, and then we're just going to dump you. They're going to get warnings not to do it.
Mm-hmm.
So that would be any team, all 32 teams. If they start doing stuff like that, they could be warned by the NHL. If maybe a committee, they could have a committee along with the commissioner to make it more fair. That the commissioner just isn't, say he likes the Ducks better than the Kings, so he lets the Ducks get away with it. He won't let the Kings. We have a committee of ownership or GMs that will hold them accountable. So,
Yeah.
And I like that idea too.
Yeah. Or you could do like what the women's league does. As soon as you're eliminated from playoffs, it's a point system. So the more points you get, the better chance. I believe you better, either the better odds or you get the best pick is where if as soon as you're eliminated, for every time you win, you get a point. So say the Ducks are eliminated with 15 games left. Like say the Blackhawks and Ducks are both eliminated with 15 games left. The Ducks win 10 games and the Blackhawks only win 8 and everything, since it's going to prevent tanking, because they're going to be like, okay, well, if we want a better pick, we have to win these games and
so
everything.
You're talking after they're eliminated.
After you're eliminated.
How can that be rated? Say you're 30 games and you're already out of the playoffs, and I'm only 10 games out of the playoffs. Is it a percentage of the points you get at those games? See, that's where I don't.
I gotta look it up.
You should look that up before making that statement. So
I know, like I said, I know they do something like that. Yeah, I'll put that on the back burner.
So I haven't. It was okay if I go with another one. I want the playoffs, points only based playoff system in each division. So if you're the best in the division, you will play the 8th seed in the division. No conference interplay except when the place in the conference or the division conference pitch you against a division rival. So basically, say the Colorado Avalanche have the best record in the West.
Okay,
they're first. The 8th seed is the Ducks, so they'll play the Ducks. But you know what happens now is the number 1 seeds from each different division play one of the playoff teams or the wild card teams, and then the 2 and 3 seeds play each other in the division, which isn't necessarily always fair.
Yeah.
So
we talked about this during when we were doing our playoff.
But this is what I think it should be, because it makes it fair.
Yeah.
It makes it fair, So if the Central Division is way better than the Western Division, they could have 5 playoff teams, and the West may only have 3. Now, it's still without being wild, though, just the wild card.
Yeah.
It goes by record. The wild card doesn't play. It's record. That's it.
So you usually want to do 1 through 8. Get rid of this.
8. I think that's fair.
I agree.
I think that's fair to everybody.
I love that. That's a great idea.
So
even Sidney Crosby thinks that's a great idea.
Okay.
He came out and said that. He says he hates this in division thing first.
So what do you? What's your next one?
All right. Power plays and penalty kills. I'm gonna bring it back right to the women's professional league. Full power play. So if you get a power play, you get the full 2 minutes to score. So it's just like how it used to be. So if you score, you keep going until the 2 minutes is up. But if the penalty kill scores a shorthanded goal, the power play is over. It kills it.
Yeah. I'm in total agreement with that one. It's on my list too.
Yeah. All right.
So I have another one.
Go for it.
Icing is icing, whether you're shorthanded or not.
Ooh.
You want more offense? Icing is icing. The power play team will have more control to score if icing is icing.
Okay.
Did you think of that one?
No, I did not.
Okay.
All right.
That was my last one, by the way.
I was not expecting that one. That's a good one.
You like that one?
I do. All right. Here's one. So every team always has healthy scratches on their team. If a player gets hurt and can't come into play, they should be able to bring in a healthy scratch player to take that player's place as long as they're still under the salary cap rules.
So how would that play? So say you are right at the salary cap.
It depends, but it also depends on who gets hurt.
So the guy hurt, you would take off the cap, and the guy you put in.
Yes.
Okay.
So say like
I got you.
We'll say with the Ducks, say they're right at the cap. They're perfectly at the cap. If one of their, let's just say Alex Killorn is a healthy scratch for the game, maybe he just wants a break. But then one of the rookies gets hurt and can't come back. Killorn can't take his spot
because he makes too much money.
Because he'll put him over the salary.
The only issue you have with that is those guys probably won't play very much because you won't have anybody to replace them. They would be the replacement player. If you're a smart coach, you're going to scratch, that $1 million for $775,000 minimum contract.
But but if you think, but that's already who's usually scratched.
Yeah,
is usually the 13th, 14th, or 7th or 8th.
I'm okay with that one. I mean, I think that's fair.
Because I feel, because if you lose a like say you're playing the normal 12 forwards, 6 defensemen, and then your top defenseman gets hurt, now you got 5 defensemen that may have to play the whole game, and it's already hard enough to play with the full team. Now you're down a man. Now other players are having to play. I'm like, you're just asking for more injuries and stuff like that. Well, why not allow someone to at least take that player's spot? And I was like, I mean, he probably doesn't have to play a lot, but at least he can. There's more rest for those other defensemen or forwards.
Okay.
I mean, the goalies have a backup.
I'm actually, yeah. Or if they lose both of them, they get some guy out. They have someone who can come in and play.
Yeah.
At every game. I don't know if you knew that.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's the guy on the Zamboni. I mean, or he does something else for the team, and yet he plays goal. And some of them come out and they've won a game. So, I was going to ask you. I know I had one I didn't mention when we talked the other night. Can you remember what it was that I didn't say? I guess it was not important then.
Remember, when we were talking, I barely remembered one of mine.
Well, it's funny when you get 66 years old, you think you're going to remember things.
I'm 31 and I still don't remember things.
Well, no, it's like,
I'm screwed when I'm older. Wow. I have one. I'm not like the biggest fan of it, but I have heard people about this. It's not like the biggest thing. And honestly, I'm not a big fan of it, but I could see if they do. For the game, you play 4 15-minute quarters instead of 3 20-minute periods. You'll get better ice throughout the game, because usually the last 5 to 7 minutes, the ice is probably the worst at the end of each period. True. So you get cleaner ice more often. And then I think the owners will like it because now, I mean, you don't have to do, I think it's 18 to 20 minutes in between periods.
Yeah, you do 15 minutes between periods instead.
15. So they say they do 10 in between. Mm-hmm. So you still got a little bit.
You got to let people go to the bathroom, get popcorn, get a beer or soda. It gives them another intermission to makes those sales.
So like I said, it gives players maybe a little bit more rest, better ice quality. Owners can make a little bit more money from the concessions and stuff like that.
So maybe the most exciting sport in the world, the players could start making money like LeBron James or Matthew Stafford kind of money. I mean, you think about it, the top guy is like end of one of the subs on the bench. So, and they were playing with razor blades on their bottom of their shoes, and it's a very physical game. So,
let's see, I'm trying to see if I can find anything on. No, I don't think I looked up the right thing.
I've had a lot of fun with this podcast so far.
I did
Might
too.
be my favorite so far. I hope everybody else thinks so.
I think my favorite was still the all-time Ducks versus all-time Kings one.
Well, that was exciting because I won.
Cheated.
How could I cheat?
I know. I know.
I didn't even do the simulation. You did.
I know.
So, that was fun. But I mean, as far as passion, this was passion. Trying to fix make the game better. I think some of these ideas are great ideas. I could only hope that somebody would at least think about implementing some of them.
Let's see.
What are you looking up now?
I'm gonna see. Here. So it won't let me look at. I was gonna look up the women's thing for the tanking.
Okay, we can share that next week.
All right.
It can be something right at the start.
Yeah, true. All right.
So, trivia question?
Oh, right. I didn't even do that.
Yeah. Good thing I'm here.
Yeah.
The guy who forgets everything and reminds you to do the trivia because it's your turn.
All right. Can you give me the top 5 Kings players with the most shorthanded goals?
Can I? I don't know. That's not something I focus on.
I know.
Luc Robitaille?
No, he's not even on this list. Really? He's not even in the top 10.
Marcel Dion.
Marcel Dion? He is number 9 with 9.
Wow. Trevor Moore might be on that list already because he scores like at least 3 a year.
He is tied in 7th with 10.
So
0 for 3.
Yeah, I'm 0 for 3. Wayne Gretzky.
Yep. Number 4 with 17.
Bernie Nichols?
Number 1 with 25.
Yeah.
So you just need the 5th overall, and then you have 2 players that are tied for 2nd.
Charlie Simmer?
Not even on this list.
Dave Taylor?
Not even on this list.
And this is different. Okay. Short-handed goals. Drew Doughty?
Not even on this list.
Anze Kopitar?
Number 5 with 14 shorthanded goals. Now you need
Dustin Brown?
Not even on this list. Do you give up?
Not yet. Give me a couple seconds to think here. Are they obscure?
I don't know how to really answer that, but
Not that famous of a player.
I know one of them.
So one of them you don't even know.
Yeah, but you might.
Steve Duchesne.
Not even on this list. Wow, you are bad this week.
Yeah, well, I that's not a stat I look up or
It's not
focused
one I look up either.
on. Obviously, you did.
Well, that's what I thought it would be a good. I don't know. You asked me who scored the fastest goals in Ducks history, and I'm like, ouch, that's not something I look up.
Yeah. Okay. Well, all right. Give me the answers, so I don't
All
want
right.
to take this too long.
So tied for second, you have Butch Goring and Mike Murphy.
Okay, no Mike Murphy. Okay.
Mike Murphy's the one I did not know. But I knew
I
I
know
knew of
both
Butch
of them.
Goring.
And Butch Goring could have been a guess I would have had, but I didn't. He didn't.
Yeah,
Even
they each had 19.
really.
You had Bernie Nichols with 25, Butch Goring with 19, Mike Murphy with 19, Wayne Gretzky with 17, and Anze Kopitar with 14. Then Kempe is 6 overall. Ziggy Palffy's tied with
One of your favorite
7th.
names.
Yep. Marcel Dion was number 9, and then tied for 10th, you had Yari Curry, Yannick Perreault, and Glenn Murray.
Okay.
That's your top 10.
Wow. That was a tough question.
Good.
Good job, son. Good job.
Ugh.
Well, I hope you guys have had as much fun as we've had listening to this podcast. We'd love more ideas for things to do during the off season because it's not going to be overly busy. We're going to still try to do a podcast a week. We'll come up with something if you don't, but we really rather do something you want to hear about.
Or if you have your commissioner ideas, you could still send them in.
Yeah, and we'll share them next week. I promise you on that one. And I'll try to have a really tough trivia question for Cody next week. That's going to be a promise. I'll be looking that up probably right after we get off this podcast.
Oh, I thought you were going to go see Deadpool.
Man, I still can't believe your mom wants to go see Deadpool.
I know, I'm shocked. When you called me, I was like, wait, what?
Yeah. I go, hey.
But this one I can kind of see her more wanting to see.
Well, you take away all the blood and bad language. It's funny.
But that's Deadpool.
I know.
Oh, God, you're going to love it. It was such a great movie.
You already seen it?
We saw it Friday.
Oh, okay.
Duh. It was great.
I go, I'm going to mention it to him. Let's do I got to know when we're doing the podcast because Mom wants to go see it. I thought you guys might go with us since you've already seen it. That's cool.
I mean, I wouldn't mind seeing it again, but
we're going to Tamiku.
Oh, okay.
Tamiku at 5.
I'll ask Christina, but we'll see what she wants.
Well, it's cool if you don't.
Yeah.
Cool if you don't. Anyways, we thank you for listening to us. Remember to give us your reviews. Let other people know.
Rate us on Spotify.
Rate us on all the different platforms. Tell your friends, your family, your enemies, your boss. Your
customers.
Your customers, come listen to us. This is this father and son team. They're kind of odd and funny. I get at least one laugh.
So you're the odd, I'm the funny. God, I see what you did there.
That's okay. I'll accept odd.
Yeah, I like being the oddball too.
What's normal, anyways? Everybody has their own normal, right?
Oh, wait! There's new breaking news. I just saw it.
Bulletin.
The United States of America have placed Joe Biden on LTIR. He will miss the 2024 presidential election.
Another bulletin.
Also, please go follow us on Discord. The link is in the link tree, which I believe is in our Instagram bio or anything. If not, follow us on Instagram and I'll post a link on there.
Sounds good.
Just banged my knee. But like I said, guys, we're on Spotify, Apple, YouTube, Amazon Music, and iHeartRadio. Please go follow us on there. Download, listen, send us your thoughts. If you have any ideas or questions, please feel free to send it.
Sounds good.
All right.
Love you guys.
Love you guys. Have a good one. Let's go, Ducks.
Go Kings, go.